How's it going, guys? Hope your Monday's going good. As usual, you heard my fan in the background. We finally discovered what I was trying to look for, Labyrinthian. And it's actually right here, so kind of southeast of Marthrall. This is a very big area. There's a lot of frost trolls here. There's a lot of Draugr death lords here, which would be more inside the territory. There's several dragon priest quests that are in this area. There is a Daedra quest in this area. So this place is pretty goddamn massive. I would consider it to be the biggest dungeon outside of an actual building or cave. So this is probably, I think, the size of like Whiterun, but just outside, and it's just full of enemies. I highly recommend, if you're playing a stealth character, you come here in the nighttime. As you can see, there's a frost troll there, because you will have a more easier time to be able to sneak around. If you're doing a mage or a physical character, then I recommend coming in and doing it at daytime, because it'll be a lot easier to see the enemies. But that's just one of the frost trolls. There's like 4 or 5 of them. But there's a little questing in there. And then up in that top is the actual main temple itself, which you cannot access until you actually join the College of Winterhold. And that alone has its own storyline before you can actually make it all the way up to that territory and unlock the door. So just be aware of that. I don't know why the hell you fired a shot off like that. I didn't even let go of the goddamn mouse. Come on. It was just a little arrow just flying over there for no goddamn reason. You did. Oof. Double headshot. Get like the, what was it, like the Call of Duty announcer or something like that. Double headshot. But yeah. But we're actually only here for one priority, and that's to get an ebony bow. Since we have 100% smithing, it should increase slightly more damage than our glass bow than it is. But I doubt it will be much, since we're not actually the required level to use ebony gear just yet. You can get other... Hello. Man was setting up for an ambush and got ambushed himself. Get the hell out of my face. There's also other ebony stuff here. You can get ebony battle axes, ebony warhammers, ebony swords. The ebony bow, which is probably the most rarest one of them all to get, and slightly difficult to get because you have to deal with Draugr Deathlord, who's shooting you not with an ebony bow, but with also ebony arrows too. So his damage is going to be extremely high. I have come in here with a mage before, like extremely low level. Once I unlocked Firebolt, I came here, got a lot of potions, got a lot of mana potions, and just slowly started picking them off one by one. I believe this place is broken down to multiple dungeons too. I think it's up this way. That shrine up there is to Marius Dagon, the Lord of Destruction and Dragons. There's also a ward wall up there too. So, and there's, I believe, bandits that are guarding that territory. So just be aware. And there is a Daedra quest for him too. So, lost. Was it Valkyrie? I can't pronounce it. I think this is the territory we want to go to. Is it this one or it's the one below? There's like a drop down to this place. Anyway, I missed that shot. It must be a corpse. You're the one I was thinking of. And of course you got your pressure plate traps and stuff like that. Some of these Draugr corpses may be laying on tables that are not actually dead. They just may look like it, so just be aware of that. Spike trap there, so careful with that. These would have woken him up, so just be careful of that. Wait a minute, you are alive. How the hell was I missing my shots then? Yeah, you're telling me somehow from all the way back there, I missed this guy, aimed multiple times, and my arrows shot over here. Yeah, this game is like completely glitched. Probably he's not Dex, because the thing with Draugr Deathlords is they usually have horns on their helmets, so he may be a Restless or one higher than that. What is that color? Oh, white. Yeah, the Draugr Whites are higher than Restless ones, so they're like a tier 3 level enemy. Draugr Deathlords are like tier 4, and then Draugr Overlord Deathlords or Death Overlords, or what the hell they're called, are like a tier 5. Those are the ones you really got to worry about. Because Draugr Deathlords, not only are they powerful, they can still use shouts, but Draugr Death Overlords are even more powerful. Have a lot more goddamn health, they tend to be a lot more tanky. And they usually tend to be the assholes who are going to use disarm weapon shouts, which literally makes you drop your weapon, whether it's a bow or any form of weapon you have in your hand. It doesn't work on people who use magic, because they're not technically using weapons. As the sarcophagus says, be careful in some areas you walk through, especially with doors, because they will triggers an invisible barrier events, and once you walk through a certain door or walking through a certain room through a certain distance, these will actually activate. Not all of them, but sometimes will activate and spawn enemies. Like that, for instance. He's got a hammer. But as these two gentlemen here are guarding this area, he's going to take care of you. Not all the enemies that you'll come across here for Draugr are going to be high-level Draugrs. Sometimes there's going to be fillers, so just regular level 1 Draugrs in these areas. There's no really distinguishable way to build intelligence besides Draugr Deathlords. But I want to say if you have good enough pickpocketing skill, you might be able to pickpocket them while they're sleeping, but don't quote me on that, because I don't bother pickpocketing in this game. Very rarely do you ever need it, and only like a handful of quests ever come by that you actually need actual high-level pickpocketing skill to do it. So. That's clearly a trap. Pressure plate. I did not want that. Apprentice for steel helmet, 2 urns, not worth. Let's go see what the hell is in this area. I think it's just probably just a prison or something. Yeah. Speaking of pickpocketing, that's hilarious. Okay, so these areas are done. Oh, someone's got awoken. Fellow gentleman over there. Hello, sir. Good morning, and it's time of it in here. If it allows me to do it. I can't wait while enemies are nearby. Let me just check that. Oh, shit, the man just woke up. He just woke up too, because it's like 10 minutes until 9. Means he had a really long nap, woke up, feeling a little peckish, wanted some food, and Next thing you know, he's getting an arrow on him, so... This is why you don't nap before you go to bed. Well, take it back. The right nap time is 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Usually seems to be the most perfect time to take a nap. Anything later than that, you're just really pushing it because you're actually going to just make yourself not be able to sleep. This gentleman here, I believe, is the one we want. Are you carrying my bow? No, you're not carrying my bow. You're carrying the ebony axe, though. So you're not the one I want. There's a drop down. I don't think I'm in the right area then. Anyway, I'll take your shit anyways. Deathlord. These guys, I would say, highly recommend you kite around because of how much health they have. Oh, you do have my bow. Well, sir, I'm gonna need that. Hey, we got him. That fast quick scope with a bow. So we did level up previously. So archery is still at 54. We're level 26. Light armor is getting a bonus and stuff like that, which I might just take off anyways. Sneak is at 62. We already put a point in that. Lockpicking still at 41. Speech I didn't bother with. Pickpocket I didn't bother with. Alchemy I'm not going to bother with. None of the magics. Of course, smithing's at 100. Chance at 32. I'm going to put the 1 point in heavy armor, and then nothing after that. So, but this is a Draugr Deathlord. What is it? I think it's... Is it Z? Yeah. So these are what Draugr Deathlords look like. Just be wary, they do pack a lot of health. My bow was doing 51 damage a hit. Took about 4 hits, so he's got roughly about 200 health, maybe slightly more than that. Just depends on crits and stuff like that too. So if we're talking about just straight standard damage, I'd say if we're really going to push with the Draugr Deathlord, maybe 230 health, but roughly around 200 from the looks of it. 20 damage. Ebony bow is only sitting at a 35. I won't unlock any ebony ingots until at least probably 30. There is some orc mines. I believe one of them is north of Riften, like Sully northeast of Riften. There's an orc mine that has ebony. They will not allow you in. I mean, you can visit around. I don't exactly sure if you can actually mine those areas without it considered being stealing. You can be bloodbound if you do a certain quest for one of the camps. It's basically all the same one, but it's just would allow you to just blood marks you to just say, hey, you know, you're not exactly part of the tribe, but you know, you get a pass. But if you play as an orc, on the other hand, you're pretty much getting free pass to all their camps and mine all their crap. But since I'm not playing orc, I will take your goddamn bow. Yeah, because usually there's another one. This isn't the right area. This isn't. I know this maybe it is. Oh, this is the right area. Okay, this was the areas I was trying to think of. Because there's a Draugr Deathlord down there that's has a ebony battle axe, I think it is, and he's the one who will use disarm shout against you. I usually throw conjurations down there, so like flame astronauts and stuff like that. Once they're gonna have some range, they're not gonna pack a lot of health, but it's just mostly just for picking them off and trying to damage them as best as possible. My town alarm went out. You might have heard that in the background. Ooh, see, that would have been really good if we didn't have already Hunter Smithing. So, Elven bows don't do shit worth the amount of damage anymore, but they're still worth a value of 470. So you may get lucky enough to get $130, $140. That is awesome to have. That'll go to our new mercenary once we get her. Then I might just break that down too. Now this is where the choice optional is. You can go down here. You can fight this dickhead down here. He's gonna have an ebony battle axe, I'm pretty sure, or ebony warhammer. It's one of the two-handed weapons he usually has. For me, it's always been an ebony battle axe, and he'll use disarm shouts. Makes it kind of annoying. There's a bunch of areas, little cliffs and stuff like that you can actually jump upon to actually try to get away from him. Just remember, Draugrs are resistant to poison, so it's completely useless. There's no really disease type of spells besides like vampirism, basically like drain life with the considered destruction. But we're gonna give it a shot, see what we can do. He's usually hanging about in the far back, so having playing a stealth character makes a big difference. He's usually like up there or around that territory, if I remember correctly. Also know he's really goddamn annoying, but let me put on a bonus for our thing here. Favor that. So what damage are we looking at right now? Be, what, 65 for an ebony bow. Glass 23, so that's 78, 81 damage. And if we were just to put on that certain amount of alchemy, defense would drop down, but there's not a big deal with that. 30, so we're doing 95. So we're doing an extra 12 damage. So that's not bad, actually. And circlets do not count as armor, so they're mostly made for mages. You can technically do a no armor archer. It'd be extremely difficult because you'd have to be wearing clothes and then boost it all up with archery, or any form of stealth that's going to really help you out. So, yeah, he's right down there. Oh, he's got an ebony battle axe. Okay. Stealth. That, a little extra bonus to our thing. Ooh, we might be able to get you. Hey, it's just two-shot at him too. With that potion, I know that helped out a lot. With that potion, we're up to 42, so that's 108? No, 30 is 108. And 120 damage. That's not bad, actually. But I'm gonna put my helmet back on. And that's basically how you get a free ebony battle axe. It will not be that easy, especially if you're playing a melee character, because you're gonna have to go up and close. And even with a shield and some actual good armor, even if you're rocking like at least a tier 2 or tier 3 armor, so advanced arms, up there, damn it, little shit. So like steel plates or even something like orc, you are still going to feel the impact of him hitting you with that ebony battle axe. If you do decide to come in with this area with a physical character, I highly recommend you have at least decently defensive high gear, because even with frost trolls alone, you're going to really struggle because they hit like a goddamn truck. They have the ability to regenerate their health. They're immune to poison. Their really only weakness is actually fire. You can technically cripple them if you're using something like a battle warhammer, because you'll get that crush bonus through breaking through their defense. And you can hear the family background. Ooh, we got a minute left, so perfect timing, actually. So we're actually going to end it a minute early, so just not ended my family background. But either way, stay safe, healthy, sanitized, make sure to like, subscribe, leave comments below, make sure to check out the rest of my videos, and hope you can continue to enjoy this Skyrim Let's Play or guide, whatever you wish to call it. I'll see you guys.